94 million years ago, a nightmare walked the Earth in what is now Patagonia. These predators first emerged in Asia. They traversed continents, endured the frozen straits of Antarctica, and rose to become some of the most formidable hunters in South America. They endured for tens of millions of years, holding their own against giants far larger than themselves. Yet most people have never heard of them. This is the story of the Megaraptora, one of the most terrifying dinosaur families ever discovered. But before we meet the Megaraptora, please subscribe to the channel. It really helps us keep these prehistoric stories coming. Now, let's get back to the creature itself. They were a unique family of theropod dinosaurs that emerged during the Cretaceous period. In appearance, they shared a sleek and powerful build much like the Indoraptor from the films. Yet in key ways, they were even more unusual and potentially more formidable. Like the creatures we see on screen, this group is still wrapped in mystery. Like the creatures we see on screen, their fossil record remains quite limited, and scientists have yet to reach full agreement on their exact place within the theropod family tree. Still, one thing is clear. They possess the kind of nightmarish design that would have made them ideal predators in any prehistoric story. At the heart of that design were their arms and hands. What you're seeing here is not the giant sickle claw of some oversized raptor's foot. It is, in fact, a hand claw. This specimen was unearthed in the late 1990s in northwestern Patagonia, Argentina. Based on that single massive claw, paleontologists initially concluded they had found the foot weapon of a gigantic raptor-like dinosaur. They named it Megaraptor, meaning giant thief. We now know that early interpretation was mistaken. That enormous claw actually belonged to the hand, specifically the first finger. It measured about 12 inches along the bone. In life, a tough keratin sheath likely covered it, adding considerable extra length and sharpness. For a time, this made Megaraptor the holder of the longest claws known in any predatory dinosaur. In the following decades, additional fossils unveiled even more members of this family. These new discoveries revealed that Megaraptor's weaponry was far more lethal than initially suspected. Instead of just a single sword-like claw, these predators actually wielded three. The first two were incredibly long and razor-sharp, accompanied by a third shorter claw at the end of the hand. Combined, these specialized hands formed a set of arms designed for a single purpose: to grasp, pierce, and take down prey with devastating efficiency. These new finds also taught us that Megaraptor's weapons were more lethal than first thought. These unusual hands were only part of the story. What made the Megaraptora truly stand out was the entire weapon system attached to them: their arms. Unlike the famously short but powerful forelimbs of Tyrannosaurus rex, Megaraptor and its kin possessed long arms. Their shoulders were remarkably flexible, allowing the arms to swing forward, upward, and pull back with surprising force and precision. So how did these predators actually bring down their prey? While T-Rex was a bite-first predator that relied on its massive jaws to crush and kill, the Megaraptora took a very different approach. They were blade-first predators. Their strategy centered on the arms and claws. They could slash to open deep wounds, hook into flesh to prevent escape, and drive those long, curved claws straight through muscle and bone to deliver devastating punctures. When targeting large prey such as hadrosaurs or young titanosaurs, they likely used a series of rapid, slashing attacks with their long claws. These repeated strikes would gradually weaken the animal through sustained injury. Over time, the prey would lose strength and eventually collapse, allowing the Megaraptor to finish the hunt. But it was against smaller or medium-sized animals that their technique became especially unsettling. In these encounters, the Megaraptor would seize the prey firmly with both hands, driving its two large curved claws deep into the body to secure a strong hold. Thanks to their highly flexible shoulders, they could then lift the captured animal upward toward their jaws with surprising power and control. Many researchers believe that in such situations, the prey may have been consumed while it was still alive, held tightly in those powerful claws as the predator began to feed. This combination of slashing attacks for large prey and the ability to impale and lift smaller prey gave the Megaraptora a unique and highly specialized way of hunting. But there is one crucial aspect of the Megaraptora that surprises almost everyone who studies them: their speed. These predators had some of the most extensively pneumatized bones of any large theropod. Their vertebrae, ribs, and even parts of the hip were filled with air sacs, very similar to the respiratory system we see in modern birds. This extreme pneumatization made their skeleton significantly lighter than it appeared. In fact, at the same body length, a Megaraptora was likely around 30 to 50% lighter than an Allosaurus of comparable size. That reduced weight gave them a real advantage in movement. Some of the smaller, or more lightly built members of the group were especially impressive in this regard. Early forms, such as the Australian Megaraptor and Australovenator, reached lengths of over 20 feet while weighing only around 660 pounds, astonishingly light for a predator of that size. This unique combination created an animal built like a powerful predator. Additionally, their limbs were long and gracile, with elongated metatarsals that indicate a high capacity for rapid and sustained locomotion. When you pair that lightweight frame with their specialized slashing claws, the result is something few people expect: a large theropod that could close the distance quickly and strike before its prey had much chance to react. In many ways, they combined the raw power of a heavy hunter with the agility of a much faster animal, almost like a cheetah equipped with a pair of deadly, oversized blades. This is what made the Megaraptora so dangerous. They were not just terrifying up close, they were also extremely difficult to escape from. Megaraptora species did not stop there. Over millions of years, some members of this family continued to evolve into diverse creatures. Early, or more lightly built forms, such as Aerosteon, reached lengths of about 25 feet. Others, like the original Megaraptor, grew to more than 26 feet and carried a powerful presence across the ancient landscape. But the largest known member stands in a class of its own. In recent years, paleontologists described Mype macrothorax, a massive megaraptorid from the final stages of the Cretaceous in Patagonia. It is estimated to have measured around 30 to 33 feet long, making it one of the biggest predators in its ecosystem at the time. With this greater size came even greater hunting capability. Researchers believe these giant Megaraptora could have targeted a wide range of prey, including hadrosaurs, armored ankylosaurs, and possibly even smaller or juvenile titanosaurs. These giants demonstrate how the Megaraptora kept evolving and adapting, becoming dominant hunters in parts of South America, right up until the very end of the dinosaur age. Life for the Megaraptora wasn't only about hunting other dinosaurs, it could also be dangerous among themselves. One striking example comes from Raptor barosensis. Its skull shows clear tooth marks from another theropod, likely inflicted during a violent encounter. These injuries led to a severe infection around the brain case, which may have ultimately contributed to the animal's death. This suggests that aggressive interactions, whether with rivals of the same species or closely related Megaraptora, did occur. They also faced formidable competitors, the massive Carcharodontosaurids, giant predators with enormous serrated teeth and incredibly powerful bites. These shark-toothed hunters were significantly larger and stronger bite for bite than early Megaraptora. In this brutal ecosystem, the Megaraptora relied on speed, agility, and their specialized slashing claws, while their rivals depended on sheer size and raw biting power, a classic battle of agility versus brute force. Interestingly, around 90 million years ago during the Turonian, Carcharodontosaurids largely disappeared from South America. As their main competitors disappeared, Megaraptora underwent a significant increase in body size over time. They evolved into large-scale forms and became one of the top predators of Patagonia during the late Cretaceous. This pattern shows how competition, and the lack of it, played a major role in shaping these extraordinary predators. What makes the story of the Megaraptora even more remarkable is how successful they were on a global scale. Their origins trace back to Asia in the early Cretaceous, around 130 to 135 million years ago. From there, they spread across ancient land connections, eventually reaching Australia and South America. The most likely route took them through what is now Antarctica, while the southern continents were still connected as part of Gondwana. They thrived in wet, lush environments, particularly along river systems, floodplains, and coastal regions with humid climates. Some fossils even suggest that certain members hunted near water, possibly preying on semi-aquatic animals or crocodilian relatives. This wide distribution and adaptability allowed them to persist for roughly 65 million years, an impressive run for a theropod clade. For perspective, the famous tyrannosaurids, including T-Rex, existed for only about 20 million years. Their long evolutionary success shows just how effective their unique combination of lightweight bodies, powerful arms, and specialized claws really was. From the riverbanks of ancient Asia to the floodplains of Patagonia, the Megaraptora proved to be one of the most resilient and widespread predator groups of the dinosaur era. Even after more than 2 decades of study, one of the biggest questions about the Megaraptora remains unanswered. Scientists still cannot agree on exactly where these predators belong in the dinosaur family tree. Some researchers have placed them within the Tyrannosauroid group, close to the lineage that would eventually lead to Tyrannosaurus rex. Others believe they are more closely related to different branches of large theropods. What makes them so puzzling is that they display a strange mix of features from several different groups at the same time. Long, powerful arms like some primitive theropods, lightweight bones like later coelurosaurs, and specialized claws unlike almost anything else. They are, in many ways, a predator that doesn't quite fit the rules. That makes Megaraptora one of the most fascinating mysteries in dinosaur science today. Despite dominating their environments for nearly 84 million years, the Megaraptora did not disappear because they were outcompeted or outmatched by other predators. Instead, their story was cut short by a global catastrophe far beyond anything they could adapt to. 66 million years ago, the Cretaceous-Paleogene extinction event, triggered by a massive asteroid impact, wiped out nearly 3/4 of all life on Earth. The Megaraptora, along with every other non-avian dinosaur, vanished almost overnight. They weren't defeated by evolution. They weren't replaced by a superior hunter. They were erased. It's a sobering reminder of how fragile even the most successful and terrifying predators can be. Hollywood tried to create the ultimate dinosaur villain with the Indoraptor. But nature had already done it, millions of years earlier, and in many ways, done it better. The Megaraptora remain one of the most extraordinary and misunderstood predator families ever to walk the Earth. Don't forget to subscribe, there are many more prehistoric worlds waiting for you to discover. Thank you for watching.